So now, Daddy, you can just start talking.
What do you talk about?
Oh, we came to visit.
Okay.
And I came to introduce them to you as well.
So, take your seat. You are welcome to my small hideout.
Thank you, Daddy. Daddy. Sorry, my coffee broke mine. 5 seconds rule.
Kofi.
Sorry, I've dirtied your floor. Sorry, Daddy.
No. Oh.
Sorry. My coffee broke mine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daddy, for having this.
Thank you, and you are welcome. So, what do you talk about?
So, Daddy, yesterday was it yesterday? Saturday.
Yeah.
Was Independence Day for Ghana.
Supposed to be independent.
Was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, the celebration was done today, but there was no celebration.
There is no celebration.
Because of the COVID?
They could claim that one. But you see that these people don't believe in independence.
No. But why are they not celebrating? Because during the election, they could suspend the COVID.
Yes.
And
as for that one, they had the power to suspend.
But the independence, they are not celebrating it.
No. You see, their father said that Ghana should not be granted independence.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you don't know the story of the Dankwa Buzia Dombo tradition?
How do you know me in politics?
I say. They said we were not fit to be independent. So while Nkrumah was talking of self-government now, they say self-government in the foreseeable future.
Wow.
And you will see that all the things they've been doing is just to make the independence useless.
So this is like 2 years in a row.
They have done it.
Wow.
They're just trying to fulfill their agenda of changing the history of the country.
Honestly, I thought it was celebrated.
You thought?
Because I don't watch TV. So I honestly don't know
No,
what's going on.
they can celebrate. If they celebrate, they will spend more money. And that money could have helped them in their economic recovery.
More money than the campaign and all that.
You saw the amount of money they pumped into the campaign.
Exactly.
Yes.
So celebrating our independence.
No.
Wow. That's sad.
Sad?
Wow.
If they understood what the independence was for, they would not have teamed up with the CIA to overthrow the Nkrumah government. But they were those behind them.
So you agree that actually happened? They partnered with the CIA to do that?
Oh, the CIA had come out to admit that they organized the 1966 coup. And you see, when this guy came into power, what was the first thing he did? To allow the U.S. Marines to come and be based in Ghana. You know they are here. Yeah. And the Israelis too have come.
Wow.
Then they went a step further to tell us that homosexualism, lesbianism are all human rights. So what else are you expecting?
That subject.
Why? They believe in it.
Wow.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, I thought they would really celebrate it.
You thought. But the day has passed. And that's the end.
Wow.
What else are you expecting? Nothing is going to happen. And the saddest, their sadness came.
I can't even eat my bookman.
Oh, then let me stop.
No, Daddy, continue. I'll eat it. I'll eat it. I'll eat it. Daddy, continue. Wow.
When the motorway was being constructed, they said it was a waste. We never needed that one. The oil refinery was a waste.
So almost everything Kwame Nkrumah was doing was a waste.
Yes, the Akosombo Dam, we don't need it. The hydroelectric power generation capacity, no. See, when these people came, the agreements Mahama signed with all these independent power producers said we have too much power. We don't need that extra capacity. So they canceled the agreement. And now you have to go and pay $134 million judgment debt. So it tells you the type of people we are dealing with.
So Daddy, our leadership. What is wrong with our leadership?
You've ever heard of George Jackson?
I've heard the name, but
He wrote Blood in My Eye. He calls this type of leadership rearguard leaders. When the people are going, they are behind and they claim they are leading. Otherwise, we have a president appointing somebody who does not know anything about fishing.
Oh, fishing.
Fishing.
I was in the fishing communities. And to my surprise, the whole nation didn't have an insurance policy for the fishermen. Not the SIC, not Provident Insurance, not KY, whatever. No, not Downwell, no insurance policy for the fishermen. Yet, they are one of the highest income generators in our economy.
Are you surprised?
I was so disappointed. I had a conversation with one of them, and the boat got bent. And so I asked her, so roughly how much would you pay to get a boat done? Then, because in my head, I'm thinking it's a little money, so I'm going to support.
Okay.
So I asked them, they said 100,000. I'm like, wait, is it old currency? Like, I'm confused. Are you talking about the old currency
or the new currency?
He said, no, 100,000 cedis. I'm like, what? That's about $20,000? He said, yes. For a boat, yes, it's not insured. And they had hundreds of boats on just one shore. So that's $1 million industry, or if not $1 billion industry, with no insurance policies for them.
Who is going to do that one?
And then I know that if they are not for farmers, they will certainly not. They are not for fishermen, they will certainly not be for farmers.
No, why? The people who haven't gone to school before, who will insure them?
That is so sad.
Sad?
Yes, but yet they want to insure the Okada riders.
No, the Okada riders thing came because it was a campaign strategy by the NDC. But immediately they have won, that's the end. That's an NDC plan and not theirs.
Wow.
If NDC were to have come on, then you hold them to their manifesto promise. And these people didn't have any manifesto, so why? They only told us 4 more to do more. Whatever they're going to do now, it's not theirs. You should not be told. See the education system. It collapsed before it started. So the children are going to school just for going sick. So that is the tragedy of our system.
It's
64 years of independence.
We can't even celebrate it.
We are not making toothpick. We are not making matches. We used to have match factories, but they are all gone. Most of the industries, the big time companies have all turned into churches because everybody wants to go to heaven.
So instead of being an industrial nation, we rather become a religious nation.
And not even any proper religion, a Christian religion, where you swear by the Bible and lie. That's what we have inherited. So you go to the industrial area, they are full of churches. All have been turned into churches.
You know, we passed through the industrial area, I told you, North Connection.
Yeah.
Churches. Because they said Jesus is about to come. Have you prepared? You got your ticket to go and watch Jesus? What of you?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
You are not sure?
No.
You don't want to see Jesus? He has gone to prepare a place in heaven from where he will come and take the faithful ones to his Father. And you are not sure.
Well, I thought I was sure until 30 minutes ago. I thought I was sure until 30 minutes ago.
Oh,
But what happened 30 minutes ago?
It's not, was it a ceremony, if you will?
Oh, where we went?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, so guys, the voices you're hearing on the background is our sister Monica and the daughter Naya. So I know you're not seeing the faces because of certain reasons, but they are in the background and they are with me. And we came to pay a visit to our father, our elder, our leader. And we just having conversations with, and what she's talking about happened 30 minutes ago cannot be documented. We cannot film it because it's so we went to visit one of the chief priests in the land that we are going to build a community. And he did little, we cannot go. Yeah, so that's why he said that she wasn't sure to 30 minutes ago. So 30 minutes, what happened? Like that changed, that altered your thinking process?
I'm not going to say it altered my thinking process, but I don't know if I'm confused or I'm just trying to figure it out.
Why? So what is the confusion?
Spending 26 years praying to who I've been praying to, and to come here and know the truth, nobody died for your sins, and that's literally how I was raised. I'm like trying to wrap my mind around it right now.
No, but you believe that somebody died for your sins.
We were taught that. That's what we were taught. Yeah.
You were
Even
taught
with
that
the-
one. Now, the person who died for your sins, do you know him?
Personally?
The
Like,
one who died for your sins.
I've never met him.
And I'm sure that he also didn't meet you. So how could he have died for the sins of somebody he hasn't met before?
Well, they teach us that he created us. He knew us.
He
before
created you,
Yeah.
but
Well,
he
his
said,
father created
I
us.
am going back to my father. It means he is not the creator. There is somebody else apart from him. And you are believing that one.
Well, we believe that all three of them are the same.
They are same.
Yeah.
How can they? How can you be the same person as your mother?
Well, it's
Is
just
it
in
possible?
different forms.
Huh?
Well, I believe that it was different forms. So it's like
Different
the
forms.
Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost. No Holy Spirit.
The Holy Ghost.
A ghost is holy. A ghost, describe a ghost as holy. And a spirit as what? Yeah. Now, the origin of the doctrine known as Christianity, I believe you know it. You have believed it for 26 years. How did the doctrine come about?
I don't know. If neither one of us know.
You don't understand.
You said the doctrine. Are you referring
The
to
Christian,
the Bible?
yes.
The Bible.
Yeah. How did it come about?
I don't know.
You've heard of Ptolemy Philadelphus II, who became a king of Egypt after Alexander, supposed to be the Great, invaded and occupied Egypt. When Alexander was leaving, he left behind one of his generals called Ptolemy. And Ptolemy's children succeeded him on the throne of Egypt. So Ptolemy Philadelphus II, or Ptolemy II Philadelphus, he became second Philadelphus because he was the same person. He married his younger sister, Asinoi. So Ptolemy was the one who commissioned so-called Jews, Jewish intellectuals, to transcribe the Hebrew Torah into common Greek. And if you look at the Hebrew Torah, it was written in hieroglyphics. And all that time, the Greeks nor no other person could transcribe the hieroglyphs. So all they did was just to imagine that this might be what the people were talking about. So that's why after every 10 years they have to review the Bible. Because it didn't contain the truth. Up till today, they are not capable of telling you the language which was spoken in the Nile Valley. If that language cannot be identified, then in which language did they transcribe the Hebrew Torah? All right? Then all these lies have been going on and we have been made to believe. To the extent that they tell us that Jesus has gone to the Father in heaven. He is going to sit on the right hand side of the Father. And the same people who wrote that one are the same people who are telling you that the Creator is a spirit. Has no physical form. So it's not possible for anybody to go and sit on his right hand side. Because he hasn't got a right hand side. If he has a right hand side, then he will have a left hand side. He will have a front and he will have a back. Isn't it? Once he hasn't got right hand side, he hasn't got left, he hasn't got front, he hasn't got back. If he had back, it means anything happening behind him, he cannot see. So every time they have to be changing the narrative so that they can continuously confuse us. But Jesus was buried, they said he died on a Friday. He was buried late afternoon of that Friday. Then Sunday morning he resurrected. And they say it's 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday dawn. Friday afternoon, Saturday whole day, then Sunday dawn, he resurrected. Was that 3 days?
2.5 days.
1.5.
Yeah, it's not really 3. 1.5 days.
When the so-called Easter comes, you see the churches, the people will be parading here and be shouting that they are singing about the resurrection of the Christ. The first place, the Christ was a spirit, so he could not have died. And some latest documentaries coming out now shows that between Golgotha and Galilee is just about 12 feet. So Jesus could not have carried that cross and walked climbing up to Galilee because it's just 12 feet. But the cross itself is more than 12 feet. So how did he carry it? To the extent that someone came and helped him with the cross.
Because he was tired.
tired. Just 12 feet. It's not possible. So that story or that fable was made to confuse and colonize our minds. And they have succeeded to a great extent that the President of the Republic of Ghana can go to Israel and go and collect blocks to come and put up a cathedral. Meanwhile, you go to Yamoussoukro in La Côte d'Ivoire. Ufebuane put up a huge cathedral which has become the international conference center of lizards and rats. Nobody goes there. And you have broken judges' buildings and you go to put up a cathedral. And the cathedral is going to contain fewer number of people than even the Catholic cathedral. Who is going to leave his cathedral and come to yours? That's the extent to which we have become independent. We might physically claim to be independent, but we are mentally enslaved. So when the struggle for independence came on and people were being shot left and right, these same people felt that we were not qualified. And they will wear their three-piece. You see where the customs have got their headquarters. Opposite, going to the beach, there is some old wooden structure there. That's the British aristocratic club.
Oh, wow.
You have to belong to that group.
Wow.
Then you can go there and be in your tailcoat and be toasting champagne with the top civil servants.
Wow.
So we were developing. And we have developed to this stage. It is fine. Now if you tell people that no, we are going backwards, they say no, we are not going backwards. They feel we are moving forward. And in our forward march, the education of the children have been sacrificed. Today is supposed to be a holiday, fine. From tomorrow, these children will have to go to school. They will go 2 days and come and sit down. And the next week, they go 2 days and come and sit down.
Oh, that's what's happening now?
For a week.
2 days a week?
Yes.
Wow.
And the secondary schools, you go for 2 months. If your collar is on, you go 2 months, come and sit down, another batch.
Wow.
We are in March. The first batch went in January. We are vacated. So the second batch is gone in now.
Wow.
So what are you expecting them to do? They will learn nothing.
Because already as it is, the education system was flawed.
No, you see, you are being very apologetic. There has been no system. If there were a system, then we will say the system has collapsed. But there is no system. You go and take exams and they say you have passed or that's all. What do you do after that one? Nothing. You finish your so-called miseducation and you cannot do anything. You cannot produce anything. You cannot go fishing. You cannot. It's a sad story for our country. And the Chinese will come with their vessels and they'll be sweeping the fish from our seas. That is part of, they have a very good name for it, foreign direct investment. They come. You go into my village, then you see the Chinese have occupied a portion of the lagoon.
Really?
Yes, and they have constructed their fish ponds.
Hmm.
Or you come to this other side, they are there collecting salt.
Wow.
Because the Chinese have come. Osofo Mafo told us that, oh, the Chinese are going to give us $2 billion. So, they can come and take our rosewood away, they can do anything, they can do the calamse, destroy our forest. And we'll have to thank them.
Wow.
One of our members came from Asem Kregua. He retired from the Ghana Education Service. So he said he was going to stay in the village and farm. He said they've destroyed his farmland.
Wow.
And the soldiers are there.
Because of the galamsey.
Yes, you pay them 2,000 CDs. Go and do it.
Wow.
So he got fed up. The little money he had to go and start his farming business is all gone. So that is the sad story. It's a sad song we sing. Maybe someday, somehow, we'll get out of this. But as it is now, our independence has been mortgaged. We can't say anything about it. We go to the judiciary, they are part of it. We go to the executive, they are part. We go to the judiciary, all of them, the legislature, they are all combined to just milk us. So if any foreigner comes and they think that he can pay some heavier money, they will give you out to him. And he will take you away. So formerly, they came and forcefully captured our people, sent them into slavery. But now, no, they just show some little deeds to our politicians, and so we'll take them. So that is the story of our independence. Our economy has collapsed. Our social order has disappeared. And when they tell you to look up, you try to look down. When they ask you to look up and you look up, you will fall into a ditch. So, that is our story. Yes. Any more?
So,
yeah.
What is the way forward? I mean, some of us, we already know what we are doing. And like I said, I don't follow politics or news. I don't even watch TV. So I honestly don't know what's going on because we've set a path and we're just on that path to try and do for ourselves what we are being led to do. But the population in general that are sinking along with the leaders that we have, what do you think can be done? Should individuals just focus on becoming who they are? Then perhaps when they become who they are, they can help cultivate most of our people out of the situations we are in? Or is it something that the younger generation have to go into government and try and change it? Like,
No, you can't go into government and change it. They will not allow you. You have to be outside and fight it. It's only through a people's revolution that the system can be changed. Provided it's a system. Because you look at all that which is happening, and they have all the support of the armed wing of state backing them. So you can only meet them with a counter force. If you don't meet them with any counter force and you think that they will come to realize that all that they are doing is not good and they will change, no.
So, so basically, what our community is doing is the preferred way to approach this, where we independently do something for ourselves and do something for those in the community. Then maybe when the conditions are right, we will reflect what we have done in our little community to those outside the community.
When you start from a small community, you have to be expanding it. You have to be getting to other communities and let them know that these are the things which are going wrong, and they have to help in fighting it. If you don't, and you think you can build your small community, they will come and crash you in the community.
So we need to build a network system.
Yes. Because there was this MP who was killed in, is it Mankesim or...
I think Mankesim.
Yeah. What did the so-called Roberts tell him? He introduced himself as an honorable member of parliament. And they said, yes, you are those who have been taking the money. Foolish man like you, we voted for you and look at you. Look at it. And they shot and killed him. That's the beginning of the whole thing. It's building up. But those who did that one, the police claimed to have arrested them, but nobody was put on trial. Because they are part of those who have been brought up by the system to protect the politician. Now if he was your mate in school and he helped you become a politician, you are a member of parliament, and you are not letting him enjoy any, he will turn the weapon on you.
I got what you're saying.
He will turn it on you. He doesn't give a damn if he can be killed. But you have taken him for a ride. And I believe very soon we will have such things happening. Because if we are in a society where you tell us that the previous government spent so much money in developing the electrical generating capacity, then you come and you cancel it. And we now have to pay $134 million as judgment debt. And we don't have power.
Daddy, how is this connected in with spirituality in any way? Especially we turning our backs on our spirituality, our ancestry, the know-hows of our elders, and embracing this Western culture, which has literally become...
Are we embracing it, or is being imposed on us?
At this stage, I don't think it's being imposed, because most people get up and end up in the churches anyways, with not under duress. Nobody is literally forcing them to go, believing in the things they believe in, praying the way they
Your brain has been locked up. You have been told that is the only way by which you can reach God.
So the program...
And they have pumped that into your head so much that you can't think outside again.
So it's because of that programming that is why
Yes.
we are where we are.
They deliberately did it. They didn't do it just for fun.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
They had to take you away from yourself and dump your spirituality somewhere and leave you with an empty shell.
Is that because they knew the potency of our spirituality?
They knew. They have not forgotten. If you ask them who were those who developed the civilization they call the Nile Valley civilization, they know, but they won't tell you. Even those there today, you go and arrive in Cairo, you see the Sphinx. The Sphinx is telling you this is the face of a black man, but an Arab is the one leading you, telling you that's their history.
Their ancestry.
Yes. So what can you do? And the unfortunate thing we are experiencing now is that there is no link between those of us on this side of the Atlantic and those on the who were taken into so-called slavery.
Why you say there's not link? What do you
There
mean?
is no link because when they are from the belly of the beast, instead of coming down here to relate to those left behind, they pass over and they go to Egypt.
Hmm.
And they want to link up with Egypt there.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So the problem is that our people on the other side are trying to connect to Egypt, thinking Egypt is their spirituality,
Yeah.
but they are connecting to a people that has nothing to do with Egypt.
And you see the Hebrew Israelites too, they said Israel is their home.
Even with that, I always wondered what made them think that Israel is their home and that is exactly where we need to get to. I always try hard to understand that.
You will try and try and try, provided you get a solution to that. Because first you have Elijah the Muhammad.
Mm.
You see, when
Sorry, continue.
Christianity was bastardizing our people, they wanted to get out of that control. So they had to find another way. And they went the Islamic way, only to realize that Islam is no different from the Christians. So having realized that there is no difference, then they have to create something. They say, okay, these people in so-called Israel, they don't have control over that place. That is not their home. So it is where we were taken from, and it is in the Bible that our people went into exile. So they come to identify themselves as descendants of those who were taken into exile, went into slavery. In fact, in the book of Isaiah, you hear the prophet talk about people, Egyptians and Assyrians, Ethiopians, being taken away on the instructions of God. Go and capture them and take them into slavery. So when you read that one, you think that, oh, so my ancestors, this was how they came to the United States. They don't realize that there is a gap between where they originated from and the other point of departure.
Mm.
You talk to people about the existence of the slave coast of West Africa, and majority of people don't know, because there was a deliberate ploy to prevent people from knowing that there is a coast like that.
So not just them taking or stripping us of our spirituality, but they also deliberately set us up to think that we are from a place we had nothing to do with.
From that Israel which they have created, in fact, you look at Hutchison's map of Egypt, then you see that the Hebrews and the Jews all lived on a small island.
Mm.
Why were they called Hebrews and Jews? And where can we find those? Those claiming today to be Hebrews and Jews are not.
Mm.
So why did they do that one? Why did the Ashkenazis come from the Caucasus Mountains and claim that, in fact, they are the children of the elected one? They all had their plans. Now, when you read the Osirinko's papyrus, you will see all the texts of the Bible. Now, you are told there is a New Testament, there is an Old Testament, which means the Old Testament was there long before the New Testament came. But when you look at it, they were all written the same time.
Wait. Wait, you're saying the Old Testament,
Yes.
which should have started 6,000 years ago, which the numbers are flawed anyway, but which should have started 6,000 years ago, was actually written at a date just about when the New Testament was written.
That's true.
So then why make it an old and a new?
Yes. They have to confuse you.
And make you think one.
Then there was Jesus supposed to have manifested in the Old Testament. Whereas Jesus was supposed to be the one who initiated the New Testament. And who was Jesus? Jesus bore the name of the Greek god Zeus. So what's the difference? You look at all the texts, the books of the Bible. They were all from the same source. And they've been distributed in virtually every country. Every country, except African countries, have copies of the text which constituted the Bible. You go to the St. Peter's Cathedral or Basilica in Russia, and the full text of the Septuagint writings are there. You go to Turkey, they are there. You go to Spain, you will have some. And we were told that the Septuagint were housed in the great library of Alexandria, right? There were 70 intellectuals, Jewish intellectuals, and they transcribed the Hebrew Torah. Jews. But meanwhile, Jews also have their sacred book, the Tanakh. So if the Jews have their Tanakh, why didn't they transcribe their Tanakh into Greek? And they came using the Hebrew Torah. And having done with the Hebrew Torah, by the 70s, they said they were in the cubicles. That's what they have written. They were in the cubicles of the Library of Alexandria with no document to refer to. Then the God came and visited all of them in their cubicles and pushed the same idea into their heads. Right? After God had done all that one without any documentation, so that constituted the Septuagint. But two British men, archaeologists, who went down 162 kilometers south of Cairo, then they found the Septuagint manuscripts, the manuscripts which were used in writing the Greek Bible. If they were at the Delta, if the Septuagint were in the Great Library of Alexandria, and you look at the location of Alexandria, just right on the shores of the Mediterranean. Then you come from there, 162 kilometers down, to come and find the manuscripts on a dung hill. Who brought them from there to this place? And because the British had these manuscripts, they wrote the King James Version. And the question is, King James Version of what? You can only write a version of something which existed. If you said nothing existed, then where did you get the version from? Now, at that time too, they didn't understand the hieroglyphs.
So how did they decode it?
Yes. That's where the story started twisting itself. We have that banner up there. We have the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone measured 7 inches thick, 11 inches thick, 28 inches wide and 45 inches high.
You okay?
No, and then they said that some Frenchman hid the Rosetta Stone, which they claim weighed 760 kilograms. One man carried the Rosetta Stone and hid it. And the British came and seized it and took it away to the British Museum, where it is active today. If a stone is weighing 760 kilograms, so I caused the printer to make that one for me. And I just dismantled the sticks I put in.
Yeah, I saw it there.
If something is weighing 760 kilograms, man, for one man to carry that thing.
Even carrying 50 kg is not a joke.
So I said, oh, fine. Now let us ask them. They talk of Greek, they talk of Demotic, and they talk of hieroglyphics. Demotic and hieroglyphs, they don't tell you the language. But when you look on the Rosetta Stone, it is rather hieroglyphics which comes first, followed by Demotic, is the shorthand of the hieroglyphics, then the Greek. And the Greeks came and learnt at the feet of the people of the valley. So how come their language comes first? And the other two, no language. Now they have invented a new language called Coptic.
You said they have invented a new language.
Yes, because Coptus, where the language is supposed to have originated, is a Greek settlement. So if a Greek settlement is Coptus and the language is Coptic, then who are they? And all the leaders of the Coptic church are from Greece.
Definitely.
So what language is that? The language of the black people, where has it gone? And if we see from the drawings found in the tomb of Pharaoh Ramses III, that the occupants of the valley were blacks. And there was this exodus. Where did they go? Blacks should have been, there should have been a concentration of blacks somewhere there. But where are they?
There has to be a place that when you go, you should be able to find the blacks that migrated from where they were.
Yeah, they said they crossed the Red Sea, and God opened the Red Sea and they walked through. But their latest Bibles now, they are telling you that Goshen, where they started the migration from, was in the Delta, the Nile Delta. And they walked on dry ground and came to Sinai. And Sinai is still part of Egypt.
Definitely.
So where was the sea parted for them to walk through? When Joseph was sold into slavery, they didn't pass, they didn't walk through any river.
In fact, it couldn't have been a river because there was a pit. He had to be in a pit. So if it was crossing a river, how could they have dug a pit in the river?
Then, when their brothers were coming to look for food in Egypt, they didn't cross any water body. When they were going, they didn't cross any water body. So where did God part the Red Sea for them to walk through? And my sister, you have believed in this story for the past 26 years. Can you find any tangible reason why somebody should just decide to lie? The Suez Canal was just cut in the 1890 something. So where? did the people walk through the water. In fact, God was so miraculous that when he parted the Red Sea, he made the ground very dry, that they walked through and nobody got stuck in any mud. Then after they have gone, then he closed the water back.
So are these stories just imaginative, or these are stories that they heard and are trying to mimic the happenings in the story, in the sense that they're trying to relay the information to make you think, like you rightly said, to program us to think in a particular pattern, while they in turn do the things that they need to do to ensure that they stay where they are.
Yeah, if you look at the noses of all the sphinxes, you've seen that they've been blown. Herodotus tells you, makes you realize the people who were there. The thick lips, the broad nose, the big eyes, the ear, and all these things is telling you.
I'm checking.
Yeah,
He's talking about the thick lips, the broad nose, and all that.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm
with
checking.
the Sphinx, yeah.
I'm checking they have thick lips and broad nose. And
We got it.
I'm messing with you.
Well, he said I was Mexican, so
Oh, Mexican, you are black?
I'm black.
Yes.
He's black.
The Maya Chohan, the Mayas of Mexico, the pyramids
Oh,
of
Maya.
Mexico.
That's what I thought you said Maya. Oh, no, Naya.
Naya.
Naya, yeah.
Na.
Nah.
Na is what?
Naya.
Naya. You have to ask her. She gave birth to me, so she picked the name. I don't know the meaning.
Because when that's why every time you said them, like, but when you mention Naya, it's simply saying Naya or Nanaya or Na.
Na
So these
as mother.
Yeah.
Oh, Naya is mother. You know that?
So you look at the situation along the tropics. The tropics constitute the habitation of the black race. All over. And what has happened to us is that we have been trying to borrow other people's eyes to see. We borrow people's noses to breathe. The worst aspect is that we borrow people's brains to think. The production of, they said the Icarus brothers. You read that one? You haven't heard of the Icarus brothers?